From Decision 2025 to Decision 2026, in just a month, we are turning our attention to the race for U.S. Senate. Former U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown is running to return to the Senate after holding a seat for 3 terms. Brown is already hitting the campaign trail, and he is joining us from his visit to Kinsman right now. Mr. Brown, thank you for taking time with us for 5 minutes at 5.
Sure, I'm at the Logan farm near Kinsman, and they grow soybeans, they grow corn, they have beef cattle, so they're a major farm in this part of the state.
And you held your seat in the Senate for 18 years. You lost, and now you're back on the trail again. As for today, I know you're making the rounds. So what made you want to run again for office?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to do this again until I saw what's happened in our country. And, you know, I've always thought, and you know this, Lindsay, my career has always been to take on those interest groups, the drug companies, the insurance companies, Wall Street, that really have rigged the system. And that system's gotten more rigged in the last 8 or 9 months. And I just think it's really important to continue that fight. I'm in this race against John Husted, who has built his career in state government by, you know, just having all kinds of corporate special interests support him. He's now in Washington doing the same thing. And, you know, whether it's soybean farmers who are getting hurt, or whether it's workers in a steel plant or a small business getting hurt, it's time. He just shouldn't. He's sold them out. He's betrayed them.
Now, you are in Kinsman right now, as I mentioned, showing support for Ohio farmers. What are our local farmers telling you about tariffs, maybe their bottom line? Are they seeing any impact right now?
Yeah, they're absolutely seeing impact. A year ago, American farmers sold $12 billion with a B, $12 billion of soybeans just to China. Today, they're selling $0 of soybeans to China. At the same time, the U.S. government has sending the country of Argentina, not clear yet, but at least $20 billion bailout, while Argentina sends their soybeans to China now instead of us. And Argentina is one of our major beef competitors, and that's causing beef prices in Northeast Ohio, but all over the country. Beef prices have begun to drop. So it's a betrayal. And John Husted, even though Ohio's a farm state, is sat by quietly, done nothing to protect those farmers, nothing even to protest the giveaway to Argentina, nothing even to protest that we're not selling to China anymore.
I'm sure you saw this. Hart Research did a survey on behalf of the Ohio Federation of Teachers. They just released their findings on this survey of November 11th. That's when they did the publishing. It found that you're pulling ahead of your opponent, U.S. Senator John Husted, especially among independents and women. When you look at the breakdown here, you traditionally do well with those crossover voters. We've seen that before on the ballot. How confident do you feel about having a shot of returning to the Senate, knowing that this is also a midterm race?
Well, we're going to win based on the fact that the system is more rigged than it was a year ago and continue to go in that direction. That John Husted has betrayed rural Ohio, rural agriculture, and what people in the cities forget about, whether it's Youngstown or Warren, or whether it's Niles or Austintown, is that if agriculture's hurt, if a family farmer has to sell her land or isn't able to make a living, then the whole rural community's hurt. So if you drive 20 or 30 miles out of Warren or Youngstown, you can see what's starting to happen to rural Ohio, because John Husted has betrayed them, never stood up on the bailout to Argentina, never stood up on the sellout on soybean farmers by our government. And those are just really clear, and means I'm going to do better in rural Ohio, because I'm going to stand up, as I have, to help farmers export more of their products and sell more of their products inside the United States.
Now, there are a handful of Democrats that voted to end the government shutdown without a deal on health care tax credits in hand. Do you believe that the health care coverage issue is going to become a critical one also in your Senate race?
Well, make clear, I would not have voted for that, because during the shutdown's terrible. I've opposed shutdowns throughout my career, but the shutdown meant that it was an opportunity for 40 days for John Husted and others to finally stand up to lower health care prices. But health care prices for millions of people are going to double and triple. I sat with a gentleman in Columbus the other day. He's self-employed. He has an exterminating business. He said, he's probably in his 40s. He said that his health insurance premiums will at least double, maybe triple. What's he going to do? He's going to go without health insurance. Right. And that's never good for him, for sure, but it's also not good for society when it's priced so high and people have to drop their insurance. It affects everybody else's insurance prices. John Husted did nothing about it.
Mr. Brown, we've got to get going. We're on a hard stop time. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us from Kinsman. Appreciate your time on the campaign trail.
Sure. Glad to do it. Thank you.
And it is definitely going to be a fight to the finish. Anything can happen in a year. It is early. The latest poll from Real Clear Politics shows Senator Husted with a 2.5 percentage point lead on Brown. But it is important to note that this poll was taken before the government shutdown. That Hart Research poll that I just mentioned was released this week. Still, of course, it is early. 21 News, your place for politics, and we're going to be reporting on this one very closely over the next 12 months.